Hello. This should go live. I'm live. Hey, everyone. I have been hearing a lot about confidence lately. Many of my clients are coming to me, and one of the desires that they have is raising confidence within themselves, at work, in their relationships. And it really is about not having that internal dialogue where we're questioning ourselves and doubting ourselves. And I've been doing some thinking about this. And so I wanted to go live today to talk about the conundrum of confidence. So I'm going to outline from my personal journey, but also from lots of experts that I've worked with along the way, what it is and what it isn't, because there are some misconceptions about what confidence is. And then how can you actually cultivate confidence? And so that's the first thing I want to talk about is what confidence is. And it's I think some of us do come into the world kind of intrinsically confident in ourselves. In fact, I think we all come into the world, now that I'm saying that out loud, intrinsically confident in ourselves. We are not kind of beaten down by life and opinions and reshaping ourselves to be able to manage in whatever circumstances we're in. And when we do that, we are compromising our integrity a little bit in order to survive. So that's okay. But it can kind of erode our confidence in ourselves if we think we need to reshape in order to be loved and accepted and worthy in the world. And so here's what I'm going to share with you today. Darcie's opinions and lived experiences on building confidence, because trust me, my friends, I struggled with confidence for a long time. And I thought it was something different. But here's what I know confidence is. Confidence is cultivated. It's not something that just happens. We actually have to live into our experiences to build confidence and to trust ourselves. It really comes with trusting ourselves. Confidence it's kind. It's soft. It's not a bulldog. When something's happening, and I love bulldogs, so there's nothing wrong with bulldogs, but when we're kind of white knuckling our way through and trying to make stuff happen, that's grit and that's kind of a fortitude. Confidence comes along with that, but it's not necessarily what confidence is. That's just trying really hard, and you can be doubting yourself while you're doing that. It's humble. That's the other thing that I've learned over the years for myself, is that when I'm feeling confident, I don't have to prove myself. I don't have to show everyone how smart I am. I don't have to show people. It's not an outside thing. This humbleness comes with that inner knowing that I am secure. I got this. I am okay with who I am. So confidence is that thing of saying, I'm okay with who I am. And oh, friend, it can take a while to get there, but you can, because I'm proof of it. I'm living proof that you can. Confidence, one of my favorite sayings is, when you move towards fear, I'm going to get this wrong, but when you move towards fear, it hates that, right? So confidence is moving towards fear, and what comes along with that is moving towards it with curiosity. What do I have to learn from this? Here's that humble piece again. What is in this for me that I need to take away and become more of myself and really move into that full true self who's confident internally. Confidence is about growth. We're never done growing and learning, right? So when we stop growing and learning, we become static. And confidence, we can, I want to be careful here, but you can be confident in yourself and stop growing. And then something else is happening, and that word will come to me, but I don't have it quite with me right yet. If you do know the word, if you're on with me here, drop some words in the chat and let me know. And truly, it is courageous. Confidence is courageous. And one of the most courageous things that you can do is connect with yourself, knowing yourself. And I really believe that when we take the time to move towards our fears, to look into the shadow, see what's there, it can be so incredibly terrifying. But if we do it with love, we do it with curiosity, and we ask, what is here? What is this here right now? And moving into that place of really knowing yourself, that's an act of love like none other. And that act of love is the thing that helps everyone else around us be more themselves too, and be confident in themselves too. When we show up, not needing to prove ourselves, not needing to take something away, to bring it into us and feel stronger, this allows for healing in the world. And this is my mission, right? So the mission that I run with as a coach is we are so secure and okay with ourselves that other people can be themselves and there's no judgment. So here's what confidence is not, right? So I like to flip it on its head. And I wrote some notes down here. Confidence is not, what did I write here? Oh yeah. It's not knowing all the answers. It's not about never struggling. We will struggle. We will have doubts. And it's so confidence is getting curious in those spaces and saying, what's in here for me? And I'm okay. I really am okay right now. I'm not sure what's going on and I'm feeling some doubt, and that is normal. So I just want to offer that having confidence does not mean you're not struggling. It doesn't mean you're not ever making a mistake or falling down, right? When you're confident, we can be super confident in something and be wrong, right? And so the confidence comes in to be able to say, oh, I was wrong about that. And if there is some repair to make because we were wrong, we gently move into that repair with a humble heart and offer what it is. Sometimes it's just a simple apology. That's all it needs to be sometimes. It doesn't mean, when you have confidence, it doesn't mean you're supposed to be doing it on your own either. And a lot of times, and this was my misconception for years and years as a single mom, working a full-time job, getting it done, like, don't help me, I'm going to do this. And what was happening for me was I was really doubting whether or not I was doing it right. And I was doubting myself. And by doing it alone, I was not helping myself when it came to building confidence. There was a trust that I was going to be able to get through, but there was not a confidence that I was actually going to do it well. And there's a difference there. So it's also about asking for help. So confident people ask for help. We know where we need help. We know that help only makes us stronger. And believe it or not, people want to help. It's one of these things where we're afraid to ask for help. And anytime someone asks me for help, I'm there. If I can be there, I'm there. If I can't be there, I am going to let them know and be honest about that. And that's another part of confidence, is being able to set some boundaries that are kind and loving, and that we don't have to sacrifice ourselves. And we can be there for someone when the time, when we can be. So, but we're not going to throw ourselves under the bus so that other people can, so that we can help them when it may actually be detrimental to ourselves. Okay, so we have what confidence is. We have what confidence is not. So when my clients come to me and they're just like, I'm not feeling confident, and I ask, what is going on with that? In terms of, and I don't really say it that way, but It's when we make commitments to ourselves or to others, whether it be personally or professionally, if we're not able to follow through on those commitments, it will erode confidence. So one of the main things that I would say is a great exercise is to just reflect. You could even just do this day by day, or you can take a look at the week. Reflect on where have you been able to follow through? When did you do the things you said you were going to do? And how did you feel when those were accomplished? Conversely, when did you not do the things you said you were going to do? And how did you feel? And what got in the way, right? So this is just an evaluation of getting a picture of what's going on. So that's one of the first steps that I offer. The other one is that I'm a firm believer in a strong morning routine. And when we set ourselves up for the day with a strong morning routine, it actually carries us. Well, I'll speak for myself. It carries me through almost the whole day. I have to admit, I get tired at the end of the day and I might fall off a bit, but I offer some grace and I'll evaluate on where did my energy start to wane and where should I have maybe taken a break and recharged and then come back, or maybe just decide to knock off early for the day, right? That's okay too. But the strong morning routine is, and everyone has their own. I will share mine because it might inspire for you to be able to create your own. So the strong morning routine is to wake up, and when you wake up, don't get up right away. Lay in bed for 5 minutes and just allow yourself to gently move into that waking space. Feel your body. Bring your attention to your breath. Feel the covers touching your skin. Feel the air in the room. Maybe even listen for some sounds. And just notice any taste in your mouth. You might be ready for a drink of water. You might notice something like that. But what we're doing this morning 5-minute ritual is connecting to all of your senses, connecting to your body. And then when you wake up, maybe use the restroom, splash some water on your face. That's what I do. And then what I do is I sit down and I have a guided meditation that I listen to. Sometimes I'll just sit for a short period of time, noticing what thoughts are in my head. And during that time, I am just connecting to my body. Now, at the end of that meditation, I ask myself, how do I want to show up today? And with that question comes an intention. The intention being, I want to show up present. That's pretty much what shows up for me every time, but different things come. And then I get up, I write that down, and I move into my routine. Now, there's more to it, but that's the basic morning routine. And the crux of it is to set your intention, because that intention will hold you through the day. Believe it or not. I mean, I have been doing this for a while and it is amazing what happens over time. So you get that done. Now, if you're anything like me, there's a lot to do every day. So I write down my top 3 things, like no matter what happens, because the list is long. I probably have 20 things on a list every day, which is not going to get done. That's not realistic. So I take those top 3 things. And the top 3 things are, there's some interesting statistics around this, but the top 3 things are the things that move the needle the most towards the goal you want to achieve. It's not about the quickest thing you can do. And there's strategies around this, right? So, and there's reasons to do different things, but I'll just talk about this one strategy right now. So 20 things on the list. Choose your top 3. set a timer for how long you will be working on those things. And this does take some commitment, right? You got to be ready to commit to, okay, I'm only going to spend 20 minutes on this. I'm only going to spend an hour on this. I'm only going to spend 2 hours on this, whatever it might be. And then put it off to the side. If you want to come back to it, you can. But what we're doing, okay, a lot of words to say. What we're doing is we're building up that proof that you can do what you say you're going to do. And when that happens, you build confidence. Okay, so there's that. Committing to the actions. Oh, yeah, the other one that I really like, and I've been doing this one too. Imagine yourself. So this is part of the morning routine. Imagine yourself in your confident space. How you feel, what you're doing, interactions you're having. Now, for me, that confident space is I am settled, right? My nervous system is not being activated. And if I sense an activation taking place, that is when I take a deep breath and I get to decide what comes next from me in a situation. I don't get to decide how someone else is supposed to feel or what they're supposed to say. That's not any of my business. Honestly, my business is right here. And it's all about how do I want to respond in this situation. And so with that confidence, you have agency in how you're moving through your life. And that is truly an amazing thing in terms of having choice around your responses to situations. And this could be other people, this could be all by yourself. I hope this makes sense. I'm really big on this stuff. And then the last thing is offering yourself grace, being kind to yourself. So there's a lot of research around this, that if we continue to speak kindly to ourselves, like I know I heard a great story about this painter who he was painting away, and every time he made a mistake, he would be like, oh, look what happened there. Look what happened there. And then he just does this and he does that. Oh, look what happened there. And he wasn't beating. So the whole point, he's not beating himself up. He was just like, oh, look what happened there. And the same thing can happen throughout our lives with different thoughts, right? I've done this with thoughts because I can be mean. And I tell you, I don't like it in my head, right? And so that's not who I am. So a mean thought might come through and I'll be like, well, that was a thought. I give it no meaning. It has no bearing on anything. It's just a thought and I'm going to let it go. I am not going to hang on to that. And it could be a mean thought about myself. My poor me. I've been so hard on myself for so many years. So I'm not going to do that anymore. And when I don't have harsh thoughts about myself, I intrinsically do not have harsh thoughts about other people. I see them as humans who are doing the best that they can, right? I get all choked up. We're all just doing the best we can. So offering some grace, offering kindness, very important in terms of building confidence. All right, got a little teary there. So here's the take-home message. We're going to wrap this up. Things will happen that make you doubt. This is normal. This is part of being human. And so when we move into those places of doubt, offer kindness and ask what else is possible. What else could be here that is a learning moment for me, that is a growth moment for me? Because if it weren't, it wouldn't be happening. And this is everything that comes at us. That is because you're ready for it. This is because you can handle it and you have the confidence. It is in there to face it and to commit to whatever it is you need to do to reach your goals. I had a story I was going to tell, but I think I'm going to skip it. But I did have a huge doubt around whether or not I was on the right path at one point, because it was a really tough time in my life. And I stuck to the commitments that I had made to get through our program. And it turned out I was on the right path, but I had to struggle. And that was part of the path. I had to show myself that I could get through and that I would learn from it. And then the lessons I learned would then be useful for people who I am working with. So just know the struggle is part of the journey. You are the hero in your own hero's journey life. So don't shy away from the struggle. Face it, move towards it. What is this about? And if the message is this is not the path for you, that's okay. And that's the other thing. Like, there's no real failure, I guess you could say, but knowing that you're on the right path and maybe even hopping to a different path and knowing deep inside that that's what's best for you, that's going to help build confidence. And the other thing the last thing, so here's what I'll end with is when we begin to change shape, because we're moving through a transition. This is a life transition of working and being and thinking a certain way. And when we start to shift that, you're going to feel kind of like a newness. And this is why I love the rising phoenix symbol for myself, because when we shift, like we kind of burn some stuff out, we start creating something new for ourselves. We can feel tender and we can feel vulnerable. And that's growth. And so when you feel that, that means you're probably, I don't want to make a full-on broad statement here, but you're probably on the right path, because that newness is going to feel uncomfortable. And we have to get used to this new way that we're being. And even people around us might have to get used to the new way. But it all shakes out. It all shakes out for the best. All right. I think that's all I have for you today. So commit to what you can and don't overcommit, because then you're not going to be able to get it done, and it's going to eat away at your confidence. So if you want to get into a fitness routine, and I'm big on a daily fitness routine, keep it small. Like, start small, my friend. If it means doing 2 push-ups every morning, with knees on the ground, do it. If it means walking around the living room for 5 laps, just to get the routine going, and then you build. So start small, see where you want to go, see yourself in that confidence space. And I'm cheering you on. I hope this was helpful in some way. All right. Be well, my friends.